Hi everybody at I'm sorry, live video training. We're in the car and we had to come into the Port Charlotte area today to take care of some household issues when we decided to buy a house here in Florida, and we had to go pick out our plumbing, and then we were hoping to go to the beach today, and when we got there was yucky dead fish everywhere because of a, what's it called, George?
Algae bloom.
Yeah, algae bloom, and it makes fish die, and it's really nasty. So anyway, this is a live question and answer time, and I am Rebekah Lea Phelps, and I am author of I'm an Eagle, Not a Field Chick. And so I wrote this book, which is an adult parable, and some of the questions that I get about it is, you need to develop the characters in the book, or why didn't you develop the characters in the book? And the reason that I didn't is because, number one, it's not a novel, it's a parable, or some people might say it, a metaphor. Jesus spoke in parables, and then he would pull his disciples aside and he would explain the parable of the sower or something else he was talking about to his disciples privately. So the book is short, sweet, and to the point. And sorry if I'm rocking a little bit. We're going over a few railroad tracks and such. We're in the car. So anyway, the book is short, sweet, and to the point. And so Jesus didn't elaborate on parables. It was explained to the disciples as they were pulled aside later. And so in the back of the book, there is a workbook explaining the parable, and then not only explaining it, but giving you room to think of your own answers. For instance, whether it was in chapter 1 or 2, whatever stage she was in, hatching, trying to discover who she is, the encounters with other animals on the farm. Again, it's called I'm an Eagle, Not a Field Chick. I'll tell you a little bit about it since you don't know. It's a book about an eagle egg that falls from the nest and lands in the back of a dove, and the dove represents God. So again, all the characters in the book represent people in our lives. And so God takes this little egg and lays it in a hen's nest in a barn to hatch. And when she hatches, she grows up amongst hens and roosters and jackasses and turkeys and snakes and lambs or wolves in sheep's clothing. And so it's about all of our lives, about how we grow up in a barnyard and how we have to discover who we are and what our gifts and talents are. So why a parable? Well, first of all, it's what the Lord gave me. First, he gave me the title, and that's in the book also, how I got the title and what happened and how I even came up with that title. And then also, I talk in parables sometimes. I have for most of my life. Sometimes I'm talking to somebody and a parable will come to me and I'll tell them what the parable is. And like, you know, I can't even think of one right now because it doesn't happen to me that way. But anyway, I first got the title, and then when I was in the car for like 2 years, I got the parable and the book began to come together. And so for 2 years, I took notes on sticky notes. And then when it was time for me to write the book, I had to create a storyboard and put the chapters together. Some people ask me, do I have a vision for the book? I do. And it is, first of all, it's an adult book, and there's an audio book being created from it right now. The girl that's doing it used to be an opera singer, and she stepped down from doing opera to stay at home with her family, and she does narrating. And she's got this fantastic, fabulous voice, and she will be done at the end of June with the narrating the book. And then the next thing I'm going to work on is a child's version of the book. Can you see me because of the sun? I don't know, it's terrible, but sun is like beating into the car. But anyway, then I'm going to be working on a child's, try to turn this way, it's better. I'm going to be working on a child's version. When I say child, I mean 6 to 10 years old. So I'm looking to interview teachers that are currently teaching 6 to 10-year-olds, including homeschool moms, public school system as well as homeschoolers. And then I want to work on an infant book, and then I want to work on a baby block book of just the characters. So basically I want this book, my goal is to have it be a family book. And then probably an ultimate goal would be to have this turn into a movie. My goals for some of the book would be to have, I'm calling it flight school because it's eagle. And so I had a passion for wanting to know what my purpose was in life from the time I was really little, and to understand my gifts and talents. And that's what the book is about. There's so many people that don't realize that they actually possess gifts and talents, and they don't even know how to define them because they probably are using it in their everyday life. So I want to do something called flight school, and do a course on teaching people what their purpose, discovering their purpose and gifts and talents in their life. I also want to use my art that I'm learning how to draw and do watercoloring to do some cards and do some illustration. I want to talk with children, and I'd love for it to become a movie, and I'd love to do a coloring book. I already have done a puzzle of the front cover of the first cover, so that's neat. Here's a few secrets to this new edition book. I've changed the names. See, the original came out in 2015, and there's a new edition coming out now in 2018, probably about the fall. And so a secret that nobody's been told is the names of the characters have been changed to match their character, their personality, their role in Goldie, the eagle's life. So for instance, you might have somebody named Bully, Deceiver, the sociopath. One of the hens is called Miss Know-It-All. That's not her name, it's Miss Almanac. Type A, the eagle that's very focused. Eagles are workers. They build these huge nests. The introvert in our life. Those are some of the names. They're going to be named after some of the characters in their life. I mean, the type of character they are. Or, like there's a rooster in there called Madison Fontaine, because he's, so taken with himself and so fancy. So anyway, some of the specifications about the book is there's a loud truck going by. 148 pages, about half of it is the parable, so it's a real small, short, to the point, and half of it is a workbook. It's an adult version, the first one. It's going to run about $15.50, including a workbook in it. And some people ask me what my favorite characters are, and of course, Goldie is me or you, the one that struggles to find out about her identity. So, and then Boaz, yeah, that's my husband. Of course, he's one of my favorites. And so then the other one is the beaver family. I love the beavers. They're the little worker bees. They build, they're busy, they're focused, and I can totally relate to that too. As a matter of fact, in the book, Goldie kind of stops and wonders, well, maybe I'm a beaver. And sometimes when we walk through life and we're trying to discover who we are, just because we admire somebody's qualities or their character doesn't mean we're the beavers. Leave it to Beaver family. So anyway, I hope there's nobody on with me, but I hope you guys that get to watch this recorded enjoy it and leave me some feedback. And if you'd like to join my mailing list, you can look at and see what my name is. It's Rebekah, spelled the Hebrew way, R-E-B-E-K-A-H, Lea, L-E-A, Phelps, P-H-E-L-P-S.com. And you can sign up for my mailing list, or you can find me on Instagram, Facebook, Rebekah Phelps Books, I think is what it's called. And I'm on Pinterest and a couple different things. And it was great to meet you guys, and thanks for your encouragement. And I really appreciate your time and watching. Thanks. Bye.